Let's begin the second demonstration. Now, in the first demonstration, we demonstrated the number of essential Flash concepts required in order to create a very simple, basic, straightforward, web-based animation. Now, in the first demonstration, we simply animated one object, a ball, a white ball, on a blue background, on a blue stage, and we put one bounce at the bottom of the stage. So we have the ball starting top left of the pasteboard, comes down to the bottom of the stage where it bounces and goes off the stage to the top right, and we included the stop instruction to stop the moving. In the second demonstration, let's have the ball do a couple of bounces. We'll have it come off the bottom of the stage, have it come off the top, have it come off the bottom, and then disappear off of the stage. So let's start a new Flash document. Go to the File menu and choose New. And we would like ActionScript 3.0. And for a stage size, let's use the same stage size that we used in the first demonstration. 600 pixels wide by 500 pixels high. And let's change the background color of the stage again. I'm going to use some different colors this time. I'm going to use, say, a darker shade of blue. And I will click OK. Now that I have my stage configured, let's draw another ball. I'll go back to my toolbox, go to the oval tool. I will configure my fill and stroke colors. I would like my fill color to be, my stroke color to be white. And my fill color, I'll make it red. After configuring my fill and my stroke colors, I'll position my mouse pointer on top of the stage, and I'm going to draw a perfect circle. Now remember, this is the oval tool, so you won't get a perfect circle unless you hold down the Shift key while you use the oval tool. So I'll hold down Shift, and I'll draw, there we go. And I can see my red fill with my white stroke. Now, after drawing that graphic onto the stage, we'll need to convert it into a symbol that can then be animated. So turn on the Selection tool, and let's draw a box around our graphic. And you'll see everything selected there by the little pinholes. And we'll right-click the selection, and we will convert to symbol. Flash would like a name. I'll call it red ball. And just double check and make sure that the type of symbol is graphic. There are button symbols, there are movie clip symbols that are beyond this demonstration. Just for now, just make sure that you've got graphic selected in the drop-down. And after naming it red ball and ensuring that you got it as a graphic symbol, click OK. So let's position its start point. Now I take a look at my timeline, and I see my layer there, my first layer. There's my first keyframe that's given to me automatically. So with my selection tool still selected, I'm going to position my red ball, this time just to the left of the stage there within the pasteboard. Now in the previous demonstration, we had each tween to be 25 frames in length, and we'll stick to the same for this as well. So on frame 1, I would like my red ball symbol to start to the left of the stage. I'm going to go to frame 25 and insert a keyframe. So right-click, insert keyframe. Remember, keyframes indicate changes to an animated symbol within your project. And on frame 25, make sure that's selected. Take your red ball and place it bottom of your stage, kind of like so, right about there. Now we get these static frames right here, static, they're gray, indicating there's nothing being animated at this point in the timeline. But now that we've configured our start and end position using keyframes, I will right-click those static frames and tell Flash to create my classic tween. And Flash will then generate all the frames required to animate that red ball. So when I drag the playhead, I can see that my tween is working. And remember, you know, when you create your classic tween, you'll see the purple background for the frames, and you'll also see that solid arrow, and that's key. If you see that solid arrow, you're in good shape. If you see a broken arrow, that usually indicates that there's something wrong with either the start or the end keyframe. Okay, so now that I've got the first tween in place, I'm going to save my file. File save. And I'll just call this simply demo2. There we go. Now, after creating that first tween and having the ball bounce off the bottom of the stage, let's have it now bounce up off of the top of the stage. So, same deal. Right now I'm on frame 25. I'll give myself another 25 frames for this next tween. So I'll go to frame 50. And I'll right-click and insert keyframe. And with frame 50 selected, with my selection tool, I will take my red ball symbol, and I'm going to have a contact at the top of my stage, right there. Now, I see the gray static frames. There's nothing being animated here within my timeline, but now that I've configured my start and end keyframes, I will right-click those static frames and tell Flash to create my classic tween. And if I move my playhead, both of my tweens are working. Okay, I'm going to save my changes again. And I said we would have it come off the bottom of the stage. We've taken care of that. I said we'd have it come off the top of the stage. Well, we've taken care of that. So let's have it bounce off the bottom and then off of the stage. So same deal, we'll use another 25 frames. So right now on frame 50, my red ball symbol is at the top of the stage. I'll go to frame 75 and insert another keyframe. And after putting that keyframe on frame 75, I'll then use the selection tool, and I'll position my red ball symbol to where I would like it to be at this point in my movie. That'll be fine right there. And now I see my gray static frames. Nothing's being animated here. But now that I have my start and end points specified for my red ball symbol, I will right-click those gray frames and again have Flash create a classic tween. All looks good. Purple, solid arrow, all looks fine. So if I drag my playhead horizontally, left to right, and so on, I can see that my movie, my animated movie, is indeed working. Okay, we're pretty close to having our second demo finished. I said at the end of the movie, let's have the red ball symbol go right off the stage. So again, well, same deal. We'll use another 25 frames. So right now I'm at frame 75, and at this point in my movie, the red ball symbol is at the bottom of my stage. I'll go to frame 100, right-click, insert keyframe. And at this point in the movie, I would like my red ball off of the stage. So I'll grab it, and I will take it right off. There we go. And after specifying where I would like my red ball symbol to be at frame 100, I've got frame 75. My red ball's right here on frame 100. It's now off the stage. Here's my static frames, and nothing being animated. So I'll right-click those static frames. And I once again have Flash create a classic tween. And there we have it. So as I drag the playhead across all four of those classic tweens, my red ball symbol is animated throughout all four. Now I'm going to save my file. And let's test the movie. So go to the control menu, choose test. And looks good, and off it goes. Now the movie is repeating itself, so we'll have to put in that stop instruction to stop the movie at frame 100. So I'll close the little preview. And let's insert the action needed to stop the movie. Go to frame 100. This is the very last keyframe within your movie. And right-click that keyframe and tell Flash that you would like to place an action into that keyframe. So select Actions. So the Actions panel comes on the screen. Open up the little wizard, like the code snippet wizard. That's this little button right here. And for action scripts, timeline navigation, we would like to stop at this frame. So double click, and you'll see the snippet being added to the panel. I'll close this, and I can close my Actions panel as well. And notice now, I'll just move my playhead, that at frame 100, We now have, well, we have a new layer, actions in this version of Flash. Flash puts all the actions onto a separate dedicated layer for all the actions. And I see a small little A sitting in this frame right here, indicating that once the playhead reaches this frame, that there is an action that's going to fire, and specifically, the stop instruction will kick in, and it's going to stop our movie. So after adding the stop instruction to frame 100, I'm going to save my changes. I will test my movie. 1, 2, 3, and it stops. And this concludes the second demonstration.